Hey, this is Marc Goldberg from Marc Vlogs Watches, and I have a very long letter with a series of questions from a viewer named Oscar. And I'm going to be answering Oscar's questions, and I think you'll find this illuminating because he's got caught into a watch collector, a horological puzzle. He's stuck in, in a series of dilemmas. The OCD is strong in this one, but we're going to help him out, and we're going to do that together. But first, let's do a quick fist watch check. And here it is. This evening, I am wearing the Breitling Avenger 2 GMT. Okay, guys, I'm going to be looking down at the computer. I'm going to take off the glasses so I can actually do the reading, and then we'll come back and discuss this. Hi, Marc. First of all, I want to tell you how much I enjoy your videos. I got shit for eyes, guys, so I'm going to have to look. I can't seem to find the one where you showed your PayPal account. I'll stick it in right here. If you send it over, I would like to send you a donation, which he did, which was very kind of him. The main reason I'm writing is because I have a dilemma that I would like to get, I'm curious to get your thoughts on. It's basically a Rolex AD versus gray market issue, but with a twist. There is a brand spanking new AD in my area, opened in early December. I went in a few days after they opened and made friendly conversation with one of the salesmen. I told him I was in the market for a Submariner 14060, that's the no-date sub, in ceramic, and that I wouldn't mind getting on the wait list for the white dial Daytona. They didn't have that one either. He told me they don't do the list thing, but they don't take deposits, they don't pre-sell. But he did take down my contact information on a pre-printed customer card and said they do call customers when the watches they're looking for do come in. He said the Submariner shouldn't be too long of a wait and that the Daytona is hard to tell, but being as though the store has only been open a week, my chances are better than it would be with the other two local ADs that have been around for decades. I'm not sure why that's true, but maybe, maybe they'd be stocking up the new guy quicker. My dilemma is whether it's worth putting up with a watch shortage to try and establish a relationship with this AD in the hopes that it becomes a customer, in the hopes that I would become a customer they would call to get the hard, desirable watches, the hard to get desirable stuff, or would it be better to try to establish a relationship with an online gray market dealer? To add another twist to the plot, the watches that I would like to get, because they are the ones I like, and I know more about, and then he lists a whole bunch of watches here. Here's the stuff that Oscar wants. He wants the no-date sub. He wants the Datejust 41. Oyster, smooth bezel, black, rhodium, or silver. Very specific. And then a Milgauss. There's a couple of other things, but other stuff he would get if available is a Batman, a Hulk, Daytona white dial, Explorer 2 Polar. Okay, so listen, it goes on, all right? It goes on. But here's what's happening to Oscar. Oscar. If you're old enough to remember that reference, put it into the comments. Oscar, you're getting caught in a horological OCD loop. Okay, you are overthinking this, you are overanalyzing this. So let's look at this. Do you buy from the AD or do you buy from a gray market or used watch dealer? The answer to that is very simple. You buy where you are going to get the watch for the least amount of money. You buy where it's cheapest, okay? And that is going to vary according to the watch. So for example, a Batman, a Hulk, a white dial ceramic Daytona, those watches are definitively going to be much cheaper if you get them at MSRP from the authorized dealer. So continue to cotton up to that dealer. And you blew it. They called you for the sub and you blew it. But I do think it was smart of you to go on in there and talk to them. You say they called you, but you were out of town. Well, you didn't give them your cell phone number. I mean, if you call me when I'm out of town for something like that, I pay you with a credit card from wherever I am and tell you that I'll be in to pick up the watch, and I tell you the day I'm going to be home. So I feel like you kind of blew that one. However, it was smart of you to go into the authorized dealer and make friends and at least show that you weren't just trigger happy and wasting their time. But for God's sakes, make arrangements, of what happens if you're out of town. You need the calling tree, all right? So that's the first thing. buy where it's cheapest. So the watches that I listed off, those are going to be cheaper at MSRP than anywhere else. Now, that being said, I'm going to put right into the description of this video a link to a video that I made called 5 Ways to Buy a Used Rolex. So there are certain watches which you can get cheaper if you get them from the aftermarket than if you get them from the authorized dealer. And the Polar Explorer that you mentioned is on that list. It's among those watches. You know what I paid for mine? I paid $6,200 for mine, and it's cherry. It's beautiful. It's perfect. And I got it on eBay. So I want you to watch this video that I will link up, and anybody else who wants to know how to get a good deal on Rolex should look there. Now, as far as that Submariner no date goes, that's probably also a watch that's going to be a little cheaper on the at MSRP. Unless you find somebody whose wife is mad at him, has it listed on eBay, and just decides he needs to bail out. So I don't mind if you buy that one at the authorized dealer. But I do think it would be a very good idea for you to continue to maintain relations with the AD, because the only way you're going to get that white Daytona that you're looking for is through the authorized dealer. Most of what you want is selling at a premium. The exceptions would be any of those Datejusts and the Milgauss and the Explorer 2. I think those watches you could get at a discount if you go to the aftermarket, whether that be the gray market or eBay. You mentioned a specific, very well-known gray market dealer. I think that you said, should you try and establish relations with that dealer? Well, establishing relations with a gray market dealer is very simple. You call up with your credit card in hand. You know, that's the beauty of dealing with the aftermarket. There is no waiting. You know, they have a watch in stock. They're ready to sell it. They put the price on their website, and you might be able to haggle a little bit, but probably not a whole lot. So I wouldn't hesitate to buy from the gray market. I myself have done so. The place, if you're patient and you're willing to haggle, then your best bet is eBay. So stop overthinking this. Go where the watches are going to be cheaper. The stuff that sells for huge premium, yeah, by all means, do whatever you have to do to get one of those out of the authorized dealer. The watches that sell cheaper on the aftermarket, go to the aftermarket, and I've given you a list of which are which so you can distinguish those. Don't get too caught up on this. It's not as hard as you think. I really don't want to go too much deeper into this, but I will say we all have our favorite way of buying used watches. Or I should say Rolex. Let's just say we have our favorite way of buying Rolex. I purchased my 50th anniversary Sea Dweller brand new from the authorized dealer because it was the same as if I would have bought it used, same money as if I would have bought it used, but my name is on the warranty card, and I just like that. It's not really important, but it's just it's a nice thing, so I like that. However, my Sky Dweller, the two-tone Sky Dweller, and my Polar Explorer, both of those I got off of eBay for like relative bargain basement prices, well under MSRP. So it depends on the nature of the watch. You definitely, I know if I want to get a Hulk, I need to tell the authorized dealer to keep an eye out for me, and in fact, I have done so. If I want to get the blue steel Sky Dweller rather than the two-tone white-faced Sky Dweller that I got off of eBay, but if I want that blue dialed steel one, well, there's no way I'm going to be able to get that off of eBay or the used market without paying an enormous premium. Personally, I'd rather not pay a giant premium. So I need to get that one from the authorized dealer, and they know to keep an eye out for that for me as well. But, you know, I'm not a whale to any authorized dealer, so they may in fact sell that to a better customer than me if they need to do that. You are basically dealing with an authorized dealer who's treating it like a lottery, first come, first serve in that sense, and I think that's good. You know, they all do it a different way. Okay, well, I hope that helped. Thank you for your donation. It will buy cat food for my cat Jupiter, and I'll stick the PayPal in this video in case anybody else wants to buy, you know, Jupiter a tequila shot, you know, or a bag of cat food. Okay, guys, this is Goldberg peacing out. Oh, real quick, like, subscribe, you know, like do all that stuff, and if you've got questions, I'm going to put my I'll put my email address right here, and you can send your question into. Donation is nice, but you certainly don't need to do that. Okay, guys, peace out.